I'm going to assume that she's the grieving mother on the map. But there's probably more to the story than he's letting on. Hello, somebody out here. Hello. I am new here. I'm not gonna steal your shit. Um,
Out with you! I already told you what... I'm sorry. I thought you were one of those ruffians.
Harbor. Oh, what ruffians? Edgar grunts in disgust. These are times we live in.
How may I help you?
What happened to you?
I never saw their faces. Strange, hooded men asking about those ruins. Cleoban Relag. Most of the brigands who come through here asking about the ruins are looking for a few ancient trinkets. But these people knew the name, and they were in a hurry. They wanted to know where Cleoban Relag was. I tried to keep it from them, but I couldn't hold out forever. I don't know what they were up to, but it can't be good.
Sounds like lead and key. Alof looks at you frowning. That does sound like the lead and key, doesn't it? You hit the nose right on the head, Alof. The priest nods politely. Is there something else I can help me with? Can you tell me where to find the ruins?
The Glonfathan tribe that guards the ruins will kill anyone who trespasses there. And they'll retaliate against us, too, if history is any indication. We've had too many fortune seekers stir up trouble of late. If I'm to tell you, I'll need to know your reason for wanting to go.
Harvarus folds his arms and stares at you with one-eyed scowl. So this is where I say, go into the ruins and I'll kill you, and that's when you say, Harvest, I'm a watcher, and you're no match for all of us. You got a good reason for this. And then I give up trying to argue with you and leave you to dig your own trespasser's grave. What? And I'm only being half metaphoric. We gotta make the deer ruins open their graves before they kill you when the kids hear about the famous deterrent. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a dangerous... I gotta tell him the truth. I'm honest. There's a dangerous plot unfolding here. I've got to stop it.
If that's the case, then we may already have trouble headed our way. I'll have to take you at your word. You'll find Cleoban Relag here. Whatever trouble you find there, please end it quietly and try to stay out of the ruins.
Tell me more about Deerford. Harbinger Biomar. Folk here tend to keep to themselves, as they do in most towns this deep in the Deerwood. They're suspicious of travelers, but with all the brigands and refugees moving through the area, who can blame them? This is a temple of Barath? What can you tell me about Barath? The Harbinger says, Barath is the most universal of the gods. It oversees portals and cycles of all kinds, even life and death itself. Under Barath, an ending is merely a passage to another beginning. Barath has many representations across time and across cultures. Around Deerwood, you'll commonly see it depicted as the Pallid Knight or the Usher. The Gwantfalans, however, know it as Bunen e Anku and Anku e Buen. Tell me about the Pallid Knight. The Harbinger said, she is one of the youngest manifestations of Barath, but familiar one nonetheless. Stories describe her as a gaunt knight in black armor and with black eyes, black hair, and pale milk skin. She demands an impossible toll from travelers who have tarried too long on her lord's road. Some challenge her only to be slain themselves in the process. And who is the Usher? Harbinger says, Kith have written stories, songs, and poems about the Usher for centuries. Sometimes he's folk, sometimes dwarf, sometimes he's merely a walking skeleton. He never speaks, but he guides the way to death and the next life. He also creates circumstances from waywards to stumble into their own graves. I've never heard of this weird name before. The Harbinger said, it means life and death and life respectively. You see them as two skeletal figures, one male, one female. Explorers have found them carved opposite another in doorways, but I know of particular legends that speak of them. Thank you for the information. Of course, he says. Bereth was once widely worshipped in this area, but it is a silent god. These days, people find themselves in need of clear answers. Farewell. Alright, so can't steal shit. There's lots of keys and coins left there. Is this church any bigger? No, it's pretty small. Alright, let's go outside. I should sit down one of these days and just read the gods of Pillars of Eternity, because they might give me some insight on how to mold my gods in my D&D game. Taxes collected, earned 1,000. This is good. This is very good. This is good. I will assign Durance. You go this time. Okay. What should we build next? We have a little cash. Something kind of small-ish. Let's build a... let's build a Warden's Lodge. F5. Okay. Let's go into town. Because I think there's more to this grieving mother than I know. I want to hear her side of the story before I start murdering people. A word, traveler. I require a moment.
Welcome.
House Herod Guard. What are the odds? Stuck in this backwater only to meet the famed champion of Defiance Bay. Barrett's wheel brings mercy today indeed. His demeanor grows serious. Perhaps you could help. I don't suppose you saw a young elven woman on the road. I'm stuck in this wretched place with the rest of my unit until we find her. I haven't seen anybody like that, I'm sorry. He says, same as everyone else in this blazing village. Perhaps you could speak with Lord Harond at the inn anyway. He'll be grateful for assistance. And it could be the locals open up to you about his daughter's disappearance more than they have to us. Oh, a daughter's missing. Well, wait, was she trying to escape you guys? I've been in this situation before. If she's trying to escape you guys because you're forcing her into like a marriage or something, fuck that, I'm not gonna listen to you. It wasn't night before. I had to eat something because I was really hungry. There's a mill. Alright, let's check out the mill. Is there anything to loot here? Nope. Alright, mill. Oh, mill. Weird mill. Tell me what's up with you. Do you have a couple weird quests that you're gonna give me? Hello? Villager. Villager. Stealing. Oh, I'm not gonna steal. No, there's Hollowborn. There's Hollowborn there. There's Hollowborn everywhere, actually. It's kind of a shitty situation. I mean, there's Hollowborn in Gilded Vale, too. I can definitely tell you that. There's Hollowborn everywhere. Alright, well, there's the inn. Damn monsters. Hey, what's wrong? Rumbold. Galalan sobering beast. Blazing bloody effigy. Trice damn salty wench and her soggy... what's wrong? Rumbold. One of my monsters stole my pig. Oh, it's the pig quest. I've heard about this. I get a pet pig. Trapezed into the village, tore my pen, and made off with the whole damn herd. Just a few little runts. What am I supposed to do with them? What are you talking about? An ogre moved into the area not long ago. Folk had been seeing glimpses and tracks in the woods, and it seemed to stay away from town, or so we thought, until it made away with my pigs. Now everyone's afraid to develop a taste for kith, if they haven't already. What do you mean to do now? Rumbold, I don't know. It's too late to get my pigs back, but it set my mind at ease to see that thing's head strewn from its neck. In fact, you bring its ugly palate to me, and I'll trade you something that's less of use to a farmer like me and than it's rowdy looking yourself. What do you know about this ogre? It's the same as any other, I'm sure. A big, ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Tiergil can tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the woods. You can find him in his shop, the one by the broken tower. Alright. I've been sent to find an Orlan named Knifefire. You know where she is? Never heard of her. Alright. Piggy, piggy, pig. Piggy, pig. Piggy pig. Piggy pig pig pig. Piggy pig pig pig. Can't go in the house. Anything else I can take? Nope. There's a villager. Alright. I will find your pig after I talk to your friend. Anybody here? Guard. Villager. Villager. Alright. Nothing interesting. You must have seen something. Villager. House. What else is around here? Tergos cutlery. Alright.
That's fragrant.
Curry. It's a curry place? Alright. It's a curry place. I like curry. Curry's yummy. I make good curry. My favorite, is... You know, you can't beat a good Masaman curry. Can't find anything. I can't find anywhere. Hey! Hey! Stay out of my private quarters. That goes for you and Harrow's bootlickers.
How do you do?
You looking to purchase some leather? Rumbold mentioned something about an ogre. Tigro. He's hardly talked about anything ever since those pigs of his went missing. The whole town's been worried about that monster. People are starting to see shapes in the windows at night, hearing its growling and their snoring of their mates. It would put a lot of mind at ease if somebody got rid of it. I sometimes venture into the wilderness collecting ingredients for my dyes, mind you. I've seen tracks of east of here near the river. That couldn't have been anything else. Something else you need? What's in the collapsed tower? It's collapsed. Nothing. He rolls his eyes and shrugged. A few hides on stretching racks, and a tallow stench Dengar is always complaining about. The rest of the keep's dust, just like the fool Lady Tamron who tried to hold it. There's a bard at the inn who will tell you the whole blazing story if you want to hear it. Have you seen Orlon from Defiance Bay? I make it a point to keep out of other people's... Well, let me see what you got for sale. Because I have a lot of shit for sale. Like... Oh, right, he took on my shit. Right. I forgot about that. Can I sell anything? Should I sell this, this shield? Yeah, what am I using? I think I'm using something better. So let's just sell that shield. Thank you. Ooh, you got some nice shit here. But, nope, we're not gonna buy anything too expensive. It's a key. Huh. Ha.
Hey.
I'll go in there later. Alright, well, I wonder what's up. Alright, so we've saved, and now we will continue on with our journey. So that was that dude. That's the apothecary. Right? Oh,
God
potion.
keep you.
Just ventured into town. About to dry some of my stock. You're welcome to have a look-see. Why is your stock limited? It's the damn roads. Can't reach on my supplies, so I'm stuck whenever I can scourge up in the woods. Dry cat, river reed, and the like. That's well and good, but most potions require something stronger. Troll skin, vessel bone, what have you. But there's a rare ingredient you'll never be able to afford, let alone find on your own. What did you find? Hendiana winces. I've been keeping an eye out on a drake's nest next to the east of town at Deerford Crossing. The beast stayed just long enough to lay a clutch of eggs and move on. Thank the Sky Mother it wasn't a full-grown dragon. Drake. Dragon. It's not a dragon, it's a drake. I can kill it. I'm an expert at drakes, yo! I am an expert! Fresh eggs are more useful than the ones that get passed between merchants or left in nests for weeks or more. And that clutch looked like it's at its peak. Thought about getting an egg, but I didn't realize so many had hatched. Or the young worms are so terrible. I can get the egg for you. Hedrina looks at you. I sure hope you're not leading me on. I don't think I could stand getting burned again. If you really mean to go after it, I'd certainly pay you. Just remember, big as they are, dragon eggs are fragile. And there are a lot more I can do with a whole one. Wait, drakes are dragons? I gotta read on dragons.
Hail, traveler.
Anything else I can do for you? How did you get burned? By the flame. How bad does it look? Just say, relax. It's not that bad. I know a kind of nothing when I hear it, but thanks. I'm looking for an Orlon named Knifefire. I saw an Orlon lady headed into the Draco Den the other day, but I don't know where her name is. She was acting real sneaky like. Show me your wares. Sure thing. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Okay, I'm good. Am I good? I'm good. Alright, get a dragon egg. So, drakes are dragons. Drakes are dragons. Thank you, game, for ruining everything I knew about this life. Alright, let's go to the armory. See if they have any quests for us. Anything here? Nope. Alright, let's go in. Maybe he's like, get me the skin of some young drakes who apparently are dragons when they're full grown. Game, you are all kinds of messed up. Hi.
Good day, stranger.
New face in town. Good for business. That's what I gotta say. What's been going on in Deerford? It's a quiet little town. Not much happens here, especially not since the legacy hit. People realized they couldn't have babies and just stopped trying on together. And that takes a lot of excitement out of day to day, if you can believe it. Show me what we have, Cyril. Tall grass? Oh, that's a lot of money. That's more money than I have. I may be back eventually when I have a lot more money. Who are you? Oh, great. A soul. I don't care. Is there anything in this? Oh, can I? No, that's stealing. God damn it. Okay. Is it possible to get your sneakiness, like your stuff, so high if there's other people in a room that you can steal shit? Maybe? Maybe that's a thing. Maybe when I get a rogue, they'll be sneaky as shit. Alright, so the Orlon...
So, Aloth, have you ever woken up to find your other half used your body during the night?
I don't think I understand you. And I'm not sure I want to.
Well, I've found that if I go to sleep hungry enough, I wake up covered in blood and delightfully full.
I like you? No, don't steal. That's stealing too. God damn it!
Hey.
Alright, let's go to the, Grieving Mother. Hi? Grieving Mother. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in a brown leather cloth draped to her knees. Her hands are working at separating stringy, colorless vegetables in a pile before her, stripping the heads off the long fibrous stems with a paring knife. Why are you named Grieving Mother? She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables into a small cradle-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You're not even sure she knows you're there. She has a portrait, so she's gotta be important. Excuse me, miss. The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with a steady rhythm. She may be deaf. There's no indication she heard you. Study the woman. At first class, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman, unremarkable, maybe a less stern than most, who have seemed more focused on the weaving in her lap than her surroundings. Yet you suddenly notice she's not stripping the vegetables before her any longer. She's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. You're weird. She pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from lack of washing, like many of the townsfolk you've seen, but there is a strange blur to her. Even the motions of her hands seem to be playing with threads that lack color, in shape that lack interest. It may be that she's half-minded or deaf, but something feels wrong. As you watch her, her knitting takes an odd cadence. You have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath your eyes are showing. Alright, time for watcher shit. Focus on the woman. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly to the length of her hands. As you follow the streams of her locks downward, the hairs become long, black, splitting off into threads of black and silver, wrapping around her hands. She's forming a soul cradle with the needles. Are you a watcher? Braiding a net in front of you, each finger long, sharp, like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together, and with the silver predominating as a highlight, the black shadowing it. And suddenly you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of the tower, several stories high. That plateau is like a table lying beneath a clear sky, and beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest hazy with mist. Although whether it is actual mist or distance or a recollection, resting in the curve of a natural arc below, you see a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention, as if looking down on you and the events unfolding before you. The plateau is soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied. You feel your body, your physical contours have changed along with the surroundings. You hear a soft series of chimes, like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains color and texture, as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts like a mist rolling into a sealed chamber. And I'm going to focus on these chimes. Chimes coax you deeper into memory. You are certain it is a memory, a warm one. You're on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground, silver white shimmering like Adra? The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, your hands. Your hands are in motion. Weaving, not thread, but gathering, tendering, moving along the first movements of the barrette's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child. You can feel the crowning of tiny head, turning its grip in yours, its head wet, slick from the womb. The hands you are wearing, inhabiting, have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a stream of fluid from the womb, helping the newborn slide forth. A woman's labored breath crying out. Focus on the child and the movement of your hands. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort, that you are certain. Draw the child forth. And you coax your hands, every movement, causing the chimes to sound again. Almost eagerly the child comes forth. As it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft, wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the leg of the naked woman before you. You're holding a small child, still wet from the womb, before you. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul, the ringing of chimes echoing in its thoughts, filling it with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing a soul from within a soul, but there it is. It is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at the first cry of her child, her hands reach out for it. Surrender the child. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as your hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from cords of your own wrists, and where they once echoed in the memory, they are now echoing in the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child, to be its first gentle greeting in the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrists. You are helping to weave its thoughts, its perceptions, and the experience. The woman laughs with ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotion seems soothed, but the physical demands of labor have left her exhausted. But the child is there, the child is safe, and all atop the plateau is peaceful, calm distance, flattening out as the memory proceeds. You slowly retreat from the memory. With effort, the scene bleeds of color, and your mind becomes your own again. There's no pole, no anchor, yet the sound of chimes remain. As they existed in the memory, they sound here as well. They are hanging from the woven braids of the wrists of the woman before you. Even as your head is spinning from the touch of her mind, the sound of chimes on her wrists is sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back into the real world. Are you a midwife? The woman still sits before you, but she is nothing like you first saw. She's wearing black, shredded garments that drape over her forearm like streamers. Her hair is streaked with black and run through with silver. Her age is almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumbled watchtower. She lifts her head to face you. You see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. When you first saw her, was a mental glamour of sorts, unconscious, and you realize what you see is not what the world sees, and you are perhaps the first to see her true self. Still, you don't sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she's glad to be seen at last. Who are you?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You were the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
There is a light touch on your mind, a caress. Her left hand mirrors the motion of the touch. Reaching up to the air between you, you hear the chime of her wrist sound. Softly, her hand moves as if pantomiming the rest of your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Your memories. A cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water. Violence in a night's campfire. Arrows in the dark. And fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone. And a storm. The storm.
The Bioak.
The storm that brushed you. Did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
I encountered a Bioak, yes, and it did something to me. Her eyes withdraw shyly, the chiming sound softly once again. The woman stands uncertainly, as if she's been sitting for some time, or is too weak to bear her own weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt, yet her stance is weak. She seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
It's almost a question. You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her. The image on the plateau, yet the image was so clear, so sharp, you're surprised she didn't feel you there.
To see me is a rare gift. A watcher's gift.
Was I helping a woman give birth? I was in your head and hers.
So many questions, thoughts whirling like storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. I cannot tell if it is carving new channels, or eroding what keeps your true strength buried. The fact that you could hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done. Your power will grow stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
I should touch every soul then! There is silence, and although it seems to last for but a heartbeat, in your thoughts it stretches out between the two of you, like a pull between your minds. You blink, take a breath, and you realize she wants to ask you a question, yet cannot form the words, as if assembling them is painful, or there's simply not enough pieces. Assemble the thought. Do you wish to come to travel with me? You feel a wave of fear, gusted with strength of relief, although oddly her expression does not change. Then the fear dissipates, and you feel strength and certainty, as if the plateau from her memory lies beneath you, and a calm sky looks down upon you. What are you? You're a cipher? I don't even know what the fuck a cipher is!
Gores.
Welcome aboard. What can
Your
you
thoughts
do?
must flow deeply indeed.
You're like a debuffer, it looks like. Huh. What are you wearing? I'm not asking you in a creepy way. So your crossbow, your dagger, you use a dagger. Yoink. How's this? Here, take this dagger. You can use 2 daggers. This is awesome. Okay. I have a lot of fucking armor I want to give you. Welcome to the team, oh sneaky one. We should go to the inn. Everybody should go to the inn.
Something?
Everybody should go to the inn. Please go to the inn. What a weirdo. And your name is just Grieving Mother. The fuck? You're creepy as shit, woman. Ah, I have a
Hey.
black cat.